term. Action turns knowledge into wisdom. And the fires of creation is that process of action turning knowledge into wisdom. We all know, but until we do, it's not the experience and the understanding of the experience that it takes to understand it. An experiential situation is really what it is.
It's not about what you do and all of the things you create or don't create. It is truly about lifetime to lifetime endurance and gaining joy and happiness out of it. It's not about success. It is just about joy, happiness, and love.
Have you been finding yourself stuck in a rut, unable to launch your new projects, not getting the experiences you're looking out of your spiritual experiences? You're trying to start a business and running into troubles? I have special coaching sessions for you. Spiritual readings, Akashic records, healings, all those are available to you. I invite you to come and look at the different journeys that I've done in the live shows that I've done. I'm inviting you all to come on the journey, expand your life, expand your willpower, learn more about sovereignty. We also have the Living the Mystical Life monthly membership. It's a new relaunch of the system where you get all of our live webinars and get access to our Discord server for our live shows. Go to the website, andrewbartzis.com, for more information. Come and join our community, inviting you all to come on this journey as we expand to the universe of the Great Awakening. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. I'm your host, Andrew Bartzis, the one and only galactic historian. Today is a live call-in show followed by the member show. So the first hour is for anyone to call in and have a conversation with me. But before we get started to that, I have a speech that I want to read to you. We have really entered some strange, unusually dark times. The release of the Epstein files, multiple war fronts, craziness going on with ICE, political factions driving people to be in tribalism, people hating at the highest levels. And I want this to be a motivational speech for people dealing with the challenges of internet overload, solar flares, and a Schumann resonance that just doesn't end. I will take callers after this. We'll just take a few minutes to done. Joel, you want to bring it up? All right. My friends, my fellow wanderers through this long night, we stand in a darkness that feels singular, absolute, thick as tar, heavy as grief. The screens burn with images of shattered cities, of ancient animosities flaring anew, of ice shells calving into rising seas. Trust has become a fragile thing, fraying between nations, between neighbors, between the generations. Technology, our proudest child, now watches us while we sleep, displaces the work of human hands, and dreams up weapons that outpace our wisdom. The young carry a quiet ache of loneliness. The old carry a quieter dread of what they leave behind. Many of us feel the same question pressing against the ribs. Have we finally spent the last of our luck? Is this the hour when humanity stumbles and does not rise again? I will not soften the truth for you. These are dark times. Darker ones may yet come. But darkness is not the stranger it pretends to be. It is the oldest inhabitant of our house. Every generation has stood where we stand right now, at the edge of an abyss, and believed theirs was the final generation. Every generation that refused to kneel has proven the abyss wrong. Walk with me backward through the centuries, not to escape the present, but to borrow fire, to burrow fire. In the middle of the 14th century, the Black Death moved across the world like a cold wind that carried half of the living. Villages became silent overnight. The air stank of fire pyres. Priests abandoned their altars. Parents shut doors against dying children. In some cities, the dead outnumbered the living who remained to bury them. Survivors wrote that the sky itself seemed to lower, as though the heavens had closed. Faith faltered, law dissolved, and many concluded that God or nature had simply tired of the experiment called humanity. Yet something stirred in the ruins. The old feudal order cracked open, labor grew scarce, and therefore precious, and therefore precious. Serfs became wage earners, women inherited land where entire male lines vanished. Minds long bent beneath dogma straightened and looked around. A poet named Petrarch climbed a mountain simply to see what the view would teach him. Storytellers gathered outside Florence and spun tales. Ribald, tendered, fiercely alive, that reminded the remnant they were still human. Within decades, painters were mixing pigments no one had dared before. Sculptors were coaxing gods and mortals from the marble as though stone had always been waiting to breathe. And a painter in Mainz found a way to multiply words faster than death could multiply graves. The plague had tried to end the story. The story answered with color, questions, and light. Come closer to our own blood. In 1914, the lamps went out all over Europe, and many thought the world would not lit again. Young men marched singing into trenches that became slaughter pens. Gas drifted like fog, like yellow fog. Machines chewed flesh faster than the earth could revive it. Then, while the war was still bled, influenza circled the globe and took perhaps 50 million more. Often the young, the strong, the ones who had survived the guns. Economies collapsed, revolutions flared like dry grass. The 1930s hunger walked the streets of the richest nations. Then came the second catastrophe, the ovens, the camps, the deliberate erasure of an entire people, the firestorms over cities, the mushroom clouds that taught us we could now end ourselves in one afternoon. By 1945, much of the world was ash and silence. Survivors walked through streets of broken teeth, buildings reduced to jagged stumps. A wondered civilization finally committed suicide. Yet from those ashes rose things almost too bright to look at directly. Enemies were rebuilt, not punished. A declaration was written that said every human being, simply by being born, possessed rights no state could erase. Food was coaxed from reluctant soils until billions could eat. Diseases that haunted us since Egyptian began retreating. A species that had nearly annihilated itself set foot on the moon and sent back a photograph of our fragile, shining world suspended in darkness. Music bore and pain traveled the globe and became joy in strangers' mouths. Computers shrank from cathedrals of vacuum tubes to fit the child's palm. Minds once separated by oceans began speaking to one another in real time. Again the darkness came wearing its newest mask. Again we answered with inventions we had to imagine first. Now it wears our own century's face. Wars grind out in Europe and the Middle East. Authoritarian shadows stretch long across maps. The climate tilts towards extremes. Records falling like autumn leaves. Artificial minds surpass us at games we invented to prove our uniqueness. Deep fakes erode the ground beneath truth itself. Algorithms feed us rage, the way ancient arenas fed crowds blood, because spectacle kept the eyes fixed. Loneliness has become an epidemic. Meaning has become scarce. It is tempting to stare into the abyss until we feel it staring back. Nietzsche's warning echoes here. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. He meant the rage can calcify into cruelty, fear into tyranny, despair into indifference. The darkness we contemplate can colonize us if we are not careful. So we must learn to look without being devoured. We must meet the dark with eyes wide open and hearts fiercely grounded. Feel the grief fully. Do not numb to it. Do not lie about it. Name the fear, the rage, the exhaustion. Tears are not surrender. They are the river that carries away the salt so wounds can close clean. The first light is always truth. No, you are not alone in this night. Every soul you pass carries its own hidden storm. Reach out, a hand, a word, a shared silence, in the worst hours of occupied cities, peoples, shared crusts of bread and whispered poems to children. Connection is the oldest magic we have. It turns individual sparks into lasting fire. Tend the ground inside yourself, the way a gardener tends soil after fire. Pull up the weeds of cynicism before they seed, the thorns of bitterness before they harden. Examine daily where you have begun to mirror the cruelty you oppose. Sit in stillness, walk in silence, write the unfiltered truth. Whatever keeps the inner earth aerated so new ground can find room. Act, but act in small daily ways that compound interest in a secret account. Plant a tree whose shade you may never sit beneath. Learn a neighbor's story. Reduce the harm you do by one deliberate choice each day. Speak truth in rooms where it's costly but not fatal. These are not minor gestures. They are the quiet immune system of the world. Give your hands to something difficult. Wood that resists the plane, code that refuses to run cleanly, soil that must be coaxed into abundant, an instrument that demands years before it sings. Master it daily, proof that chaos can be shaped into order. In bombed cities, people painted watercolors by candlelight, and camps they composed symphonies in their heads. When you create, you cast a vote for the world that still contains beauty. Study the past not as nostalgia, but as a forge. Read the letters of survivors, listen to the last voices while they remain. Understand how ordinary decency can slide into complicity and how ordinary courage can stop a horror in its tracks. The generation that came after the Great Wars studied evil so intently they built guardrails that have kept Europe from great power war for 80 years. Knowledge is the vaccine against repetition. Keep wonder alive like a small flame in the wind. Ask questions the machines do not reward. What is the tree trying to teach me about patience? What does the stranger's face reveal about our shared ancient journey? How might this problem yield not to force but to elegance? Curiosity is the alchemist that turns laden problems into golden possibilities. Practice forgiveness, not as absolution for the unforgivable, but as a result to let yesterday's rent space into tomorrow's heart. Mandela walked free after 20 years and chose reconciliation because he saw that vengeance would only chain the future to the past. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is the ultimate act of sovereignty over one's spirit. Imagine fiercely. Close your eyes and paint the world you wish to inhabit. Cities laced with green corridors, emerging, energy pouring clean from the sun and fusion. Children learning beneath trees instead of screens. Conflicts resolved in councils rather than killing fields. Machines that serve rather than rule. Humanity scattered across worlds so no single catastrophe can end the story. Hold this image. until it warms you like a sunrise on skin. Then open your eyes and ask, what must I do this hour to move forward, to move on 1 inch towards it? Celebrate stubbornly, dance badly, sing off key, cook for friends until the table groans. Watch the sky change color at dusk. Joy is not frivolity, it is rebellion. In rubble-strewn streets after wars, people held parties. In gulags, jokes were currency. Joy is the preview trailer of the world we are burning in. Remind the darkness that its victory is not yet final. All these practices are not separate steps, but braided strands on a single rope we throw across the abyss, pull hand over hand. The rope holds millions of hands have knotted in before ours. Millions will add knots after. At the far side awaits a future not wrapped by darkness but woven through the light. See it, deserts greening under solar sails, coral gardens regrown by human care, diseases caught before they whisper symptoms, minds augmented to understand rather than dominate, energy so abundant that the scarcity loses its ancient grip on the human heart. See clouds where former enemies speak until they find the shared ground. See ships lifting from earth, carrying seeds and songs to other worlds. See art that makes the soul expand. Symphonies and virtual cathedrals, stories woven directly into feeling. Music born of human AI collaboration that would bring tears to old masters. And beneath every achievement, a quiet story told to our children. Once in the early 21st century, the world grew very dark. Our ancestors almost broke, but they chose, day after ordinary day, to tend small fires until the fires joined and became dawn. They became the ancestors we thank with every breath. The future is not guaranteed. It is possible. The space between those words is exactly the size of our courage. So when the news howls like winter wind, remember the ones who planted orchards in plague years, who rebuilt libraries from ash, who forgave when forgiveness seemed madness. When despair whispers that nothing you do matters, remember that every that during remember that remember that every great turning began with something refusing to kneel. When the abyss returns your gaze, meet it calmly with eyes that have studied both monsters and miracles, and say, I have seen you before. I have seen worse, and I am still here building. We are not the first to walk through the night. We will not be the last to greet dawn, but will be the ones who prove once more the light is not merely the absence of darkness. Light is what we make the darkness. Let us begin the journey. Aho. Whew. Whew. That was a powerful reading. All right, so we've got a whole bunch of people here in the room. We are going to go to, let's see who's got their hands up here. Oh, Sean, Australia. Signal to unmute. Hello,
Hey,
Sean. Are you there?
Andrew, how you going?
Good. What did you think of that speech?
Oh, it was amazing. Is there a way we can read that again at some stage? Because I feel like there was so many layers to it that I'd like to go back at some stage and
Yeah,
read it.
Joel, could you put it in the show description and a link here in the chat too?
Yeah, it was. I loved how you went back in time and gave us the perspective of our ancestors and what they had to go through, and then having to, yeah, that even in their dark times, they still like planted the orchids or still planted stuff for the future generations, and I really like that. Um, to think about, you may feel like you're not doing much in this world, but every little thing does count.
Yeah. So how has life been treating you?
Yeah, good, good. It's been maybe a while since we talked. I had a question around, I think it was last Friday night, early Saturday morning last week.
Uh-huh.
There was there was this like storm in the sky above me. So there was lightning that was coming through the blinds, but there was no sound to the lightning. And it woke me up about maybe 3 a.m., but I was up for like I could not get back to sleep for like 3 hours. And it was just it had the atmosphere just had a bizarre energy to it. And I was
So,
wondering if you
so you said this happened 6, 7 days ago, so the previous Saturday?
previous Saturday morning,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Yeah.
that would be because we had two X8s followed by two X7s followed by two X6s and two X4s in a period of 4 days. Those are
Uh,
solar flares with a continuous geomagnetic storm that hasn't even ended yet.
ah. So
That was affecting everybody.
does that explain the lightning with no thunder?
Well, whenever you have geomagnetic storms, it will make the weather more excited.
Ah, okay.
And since
So
you are in the lower part of the hemisphere, so you're going to have more electromagnetic energy.
yeah, so that's yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking. Is like a lot of energy in the sky. That's
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Put it
yeah.
put it this way: in the United States, the solar flares were so thick you could see it all the way down to Texas. The
Oh,
the actual like aurora borealis.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess maybe what is the fun like why does the sun choose to release the solar flares?
Okay, so it's related to spirit.
Right.
For every solar flare that is erupting, it is energy that's coming with infinite potential, interacting with our celestial body that has infinite potential, that then takes it through the layers of ancestral pasts and ancestral futures, and delivers to each individual soul a vitamin-rich filled potentiality that each soul will then use their own personal karmic calculator to figure out what to do next with. And when solar flares challenge people who can't sleep, it's what's going on in your field? What am I ignoring? What can I do better? Or have I done too much? Okay. It also calls for a time of deep introspection. You think the solar flares are strong now? Come midsummer, that you're going to get even stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So solar flares are creating changes in the Schumann resonance. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, yeah. I've heard you speak about it in the past.
So the Schumann resonance is at the same frequency as our alpha, beta, and delta brain waves. So awake and asleep brain waves. It's at the same frequency wavelength. So when the Schumann resonance goes through amplification, the power behind the waveform, even though the waveform is still long, it has much more potency behind it. Therefore, our natural human genetics are greatly affected by the change in the Schumann resonance, which is directly affected by coronal mass ejections and the magnetic wind flow from the sun,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
accelerating our journey.
So like a kind of like a power boost, really.
More like a catalyst.
Okay, sure.
And the catalyst is, what is my karmic equation? What am I doing? What am I not doing? What am I doing too much of? What am I doing too little of? Am I stuck in fear? Am I stuck in ignorance? How do you break through the stagnance of what's causing you not to create?
Okay. So you need to do more introspection within yourself.
Introspection, journaling, self-discovery. Yeah.
Okay.
It may call for it really is like, what are you doing too much of and what are you doing too little of? How can you find the truly delicate balance of what you're going through?
Mm,
And then have a truly honest moments with yourself. Have I really been faking it to make it recently?
mm. Yes. Lots of things to think about.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, the other question I had was, are there beings on our planet that have purple or violet colored eyes?
Yes. Every color eyed you can possibly think of.
What is the significance of the beings with the purple or violet?
What was the context of which you seen it or experienced it?
I was doing an ayahuasca retreat, and one of the shaman ladies said that I had purple or violet colored eyes. My eyes are in them. To me, they are blue. So I'm not sure what.
So had you already consumed the medicine?
Yes.
How many cups did you have?
Ooh, I'm not sure if this was one or two, but it was no more than two.
Okay, was it before your second cup or after your first cup?
I can't remember now,
Okay,
sorry.
it doesn't really matter. All right, so what they're basically telling you is there is a very powerful higher self energy that was entering your body trying to help the Sean versus the infinite Sean to come to resolutions that you are a bigger being than you are accepting and that you're playing small. And part of your journey was how do you see the bigger world, interact with the bigger world, and not going back to being a small Sean.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. I think the Sean speaking to you now is maybe can't comprehend maybe what I experienced and obviously what you've just said. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a bigger version of myself.
Right. And was trying to get you to stop playing small, to use the fullness of your intelligence in your everyday life.
Okay.
Okay. It's meant to be used in everyday life. It's not meant to be used for specific projects, places, or experiences. You got to learn to master the full genius in you at every second of the day because that's how we expand our journey. That's how we tell the world we're not giving up.
Okay. So does
Hey,
that
brother,
make
let me move on to another caller because we got the members show right after this.
sure, no worries. Thanks for that, Andrew.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Tali, you're next. Signal to unmute.
Hi, can you
All
hear me?
right. Where are you calling from?
Australia.
Another Australian. What did
Yeah,
you think? What did you think of the speech I read?
yeah, it was really beautiful. Like it spoke to a lot of things that I'm sure were all on our minds. Um, but it was nice to bring beauty and some hope to that as well.
Great.
Um, yeah, I was really beautiful to hear.
So, how long you been listening to me for?
This is actually my first live call. I've listened to I think one or two other calls, but I'm in the Northern Rivers and I have a few friends that have tuned into your show. So
Okay.
yeah,
So, so you know kind of how I work then.
yeah.
So, what questions do you have?
Um, I didn't come up with a whole lot of questions, but I guess I was wondering about. I mean, I love galactic beings, and you're a galactic historian. I'm not sure
Okay.
if you'd read into like
Well, I could read into a lot of stuff, but it's
galactic.
about what you can take on, what you
Yeah,
can perceive and process. So, tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune in.
yeah. Um, well, I grew up in Melbourne, and I'm 25, and I've been in the Northern Rivers for about 4 years now. Um, I am an artist and just taking my art a bit more seriously
Oh,
recently. Um, I've also done psychic somatics, but
okay.
taking it further.
Are you on like a headset or something?
Oh, I have a fan, but I can turn it off if that's easier.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
we got like a weird tinny echo.
I've also just got a little kitten that was making some noise in the background.
Okay. That's fine. It's a little bit better.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you're an artist. What kind of art do you do?
Um, I draw a lot of symbols or little like angels and magical beings. Um,
Have you ever gone an up your journey and sold any of your art?
uh, Not really, but that's definitely what I'm hoping
Okay.
for.
Okay. What kind of educational background do you have?
Um, Not really. Like I finished high school and then I did a year course in holistic counseling. Um,
Okay.
yeah, then more just little things along the way, not any like big university studies.
Okay. And what do you do for a job now?
I work at a crystal shop and a piercing shop.
Okay. All right. So you've heard me do other sessions with the other friends that have called, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I give it to you as it is,
Hmm.
as what I see is in your soul.
Yeah.
You are a quitter. Would you agree?
Um, I guess in some aspect, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. When things really push you, you quit. When people push you, you quit. When you get too far into something, you quit.
Mm.
And it's been a habit since a very young age in you. What was your relationship with your mother?
Um, we were always really close, but then we also had a side that um, we would like argue, or she would
Like, what were the arguments? What was the theme of the arguments? Rebellion?
just. I feel like her just telling me what to do with little things like micromanaging and not
And
really
then
giving.
you would act up to it?
Sometimes, or sometimes I just let it.
Let it build up and then you'd act out to it?
Yeah.
All right. What have your relationships been like?
Um, like romantic or just with everyone.
In general, are you able to hold on to relationships? Do they become challenging for you?
More with friendships, like I have like my few close friends and then other friends, but I don't. Yeah, sometimes it takes a bit to get to that closer level
Okay.
for me to feel more comfortable.
Have you ever been in love?
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
I was just young. I wasn't really the right person.
Okay. So how do you know it was love?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I loved him for the best that I could at the time, but I feel like there's a greater love. Like,
How did it end?
um, it was when I was like getting into spirituality, and he was sort of not. Um, he was just wasn't really supporting me, and it was like an issue, and I just saw that we were on
Okay.
different
So
paths.
did you end it?
He did, but I wanted to.
Okay. So he ended it, and then you wanted it, and it was over.
Yeah.
And what about any romantic relationships after? Did any of them last?
Uh, no, not.
No.
It
No.
hasn't been that many.
All right.
Yeah.
So we started with the term quitter.
Hmm.
You have to quit quitting on yourself,
Yeah.
and you have to follow through no matter what the voices inside you or the shiny objects that are trying to attract you somewhere else.
Mm.
You also stop having to prove to yourself that you are better than what you don't do. And I know that sounds like a weird statement. What you don't do is sell your art. What you don't do is professionalize your passions.
Mm.
And that's a hard challenge for you.
Mm.
And if you don't do this stuff, you can expect life to get more and more and more challenging.
Yeah.
You came in with a specific karmic mission to beat your own doubt.
Yeah. That's.
Many other lifetimes, doubt kept you a tiny little mouse in a house, a
Yeah.
trapped woman in a relationship with 5 kids and no hope, worse and worse and worse. All those are coming to this lifetime. You are meant to not be the feminist. You're meant to be discovering the divine freedom of being a woman, not divine feminism. The divine freedom of being a woman in a time where women have never been more free.
Mm.
Okay?
Yeah.
In my view, your biggest short-term challenge is going to be relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You really need to put to paper or document to digital document a vision board of partnership, be it male or female, and discover friendship before intercourse and sexuality.
Yeah.
Okay?
Within a
But
specific relationship or just in general.
in general, but
Yeah.
you're also at a stage in your life where your libido is very high and it is not being treated right.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's internal conflict about your sexuality that wants the partner, but also wants the orgasmic freedom of being a woman, but not having a body count that's going to ruin you.
Yeah.
Like so many of your friends who have high body counts.
Yeah.
So my advice is really focus on introspection, writing and journaling about relationships
Yeah.
and your sexuality, and find somebody that you can earn enough friendship to potentially have, not in the friend zone, but somebody that you can call upon if you have that sexual need and you know that person is within relative tolerances to be good with you.
Yeah.
And you don't want multiples of those.
No.
This is something you must learn to harvest, amplify them as much as they amplify you. Don't call it dating right away. Call it experimenting, whatever, something different.
Mm.
Okay? Those are your initial karmic challenges. If you can get the sexuality under thing, you can get yourself into somewhat of a working relationship, energies will change for you.
Mm.
Now, the second thing, you work in a crystal shop.
Yeah.
Okay? What's better than that for you?
uh Selling my own artwork. Is that what you mean? Or,
In a broken economy,
mm.
you don't even know how to sell your art.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, you never have gone down that path.
Yeah.
Which means you have to see your art as a 1 year building portfolio.
Mm.
So from now until 1 year from now, you're building a portfolio and you're
Mm-hmm.
taking your art seriously.
Yeah.
You're looking into art shows, but you got to build your style, the confident style, not doodles, actual canvases, pieces, something that's got a professional edge of seriousness to it.
Yeah.
Until then, I really think you need to go to an actual school, get some education so you can get a job. That's
Mm.
more than your money you're making at a crystal shop.
Mm.
There's a huge variety of things that are not nursing classes that you can get a job in the medical field, like x-ray technician, CT scanner, sleep therapists, all sorts of things where you're not cleaning up poop in a hospital and changing gowns and stuff.
Mm.
Okay? If you don't want to do that, your options are limited. Okay? You've got hospitality. You can go and get a hospitality degree and literally work at any major hotel anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Okay? As for the dream of being a spiritual teacher and practitioner, I think it's too early in your journey right now. If you can solve your relationship and sexuality challenges and have truly secured finances for a year, meaning the job that you have brings actual savings every month and not breaking even or negative, so you watch your bank account grow so you can start to think bigger, then you might be able to put some of your effort into the healing fields and arts.
Yeah.
Okay? If you were to take up the healer's journey for yourself, your sexuality challenges are going to be a big issue for you. Big
Yeah.
issue for you. Okay?
Yeah.
But that doesn't preclude you from being a healer. It
Yeah.
just means clean up your house first.
Yeah.
Okay? Clean up your house first.
Mhm.
Do you have any questions about that?
Um, I guess you just mentioned a few things of like studying. Um, but yeah, I don't really give that much thought, so I'm just curious if you had any other like suggestions for that.
Sure. But what have you quit on yourself?
What did you
That's
say? What if I do? Did you say?
what have you already quit on?
Um,
Did you ever want to go to university?
Not really.
Why?
Um, because I just finished school and I just didn't feel like I wanted to do anything that I would need to go to university for.
Okay.
And it seemed like a lot of
This is going to be harsh. You quit.
yeah,
You quit. I don't want to do that.
yeah.
Was it because your mom was pushing you to go to university?
No, no one was really pushing me.
No one was pushing you.
Yeah.
Okay. What were they doing then if they weren't pushing you?
I think they just wanted me to. They kind of just trusted me to do what was best for me.
That sounds like there's a lot of doubt in those words right there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what were they hinting at to you?
Well, my dad did prefer me to go to university,
Okay.
but they didn't really go, so I feel like I didn't feel like I had to.
Do you even realize how much doubt is flowing out of you into your aura now? Okay.
Yeah.
That quitting has created the doubter in you. And doubt is a challenging thing to get through.
Yeah.
Spiritual practice can help you get it over it, but those are just the regular, everyday, daily journey practices. It doesn't mean that that should be your focus. It should just be something you do on the side with confidence and faith behind it so you can break the doubter in you, so you can open up your potentials even more.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Doubt's always been a big.
Yeah. Do you want to have children?
Yeah.
How big of a family do you want?
Um, I imagine around 3 or 2
Okay.
kids.
When you were younger, did you ever dream about getting married and think of how your wedding day would be?
Not necessarily a wedding, but having kids.
Okay. And that was a big thing of growing up for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember your dreams?
My dreams, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like my sleep dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit less recently, but I do really like to pay attention to them.
Okay. Do you have a dream journal? Do you write them down after you wake up?
I have been slowly writing them down a bit. Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot of doubt in that voice right there.
I've been more casual about it, writing them down, but I try to. But I could
Okay.
be more strict on it at the moment.
So it's really hit and miss if you do or don't.
Yeah, at the moment.
Okay. At the moment.
Yeah.
What about before this moment?
Like I've had a few years where I was more strict on it and writing every
Okay.
like
And how long has it been since you've not been writing them down?
um
Not following your strictness.
maybe a year or two.
So you quit on it.
Or, yeah, I guess.
Okay. There's a theme here that I'm trying to get
Yeah.
impart to you so that when you go back and listen to this session later, you're like, he was just beating me up the whole way. No, I'm not
No,
trying
I
to beat you
believe
up.
you. I can see it. I
Okay.
just
And
don't
I
really.
know that there's going to be a future you listening to this in a few hours or a few days from now. And I'm
Yeah.
talking to that future person here. You
Yeah.
need to take your life seriously and stop quitting.
Yeah.
Follow through. You may not want to go and get education, but I'm telling you, the soul that you have and the karma that you have, if you don't have secured finances, secured relationship at a young age, by the time you hit 27, 29, 30, you are going to have a really fucked up life. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
It's not going to be good. Okay?
Mm.
Secure what good relationships are. Get a well-paying, secured job early so that when you reach your peak of womanhood at around 30, you have full funding to truly follow your human will.
Yeah.
Be it kids, marriage, job, adventuring around the world.
Hmm.
Secure it early. You take care of those karmic aspects, you will be light years behind everyone else you graduated with.
Mm.
You can go back to your 10-year reunion and everybody like, holy shit, she succeeded.
Mm.
Do you have any other questions that you want to ask?
Um. So you think not necessarily trying to sell artwork, just working on it?
You need to take a year of I'm taking my art absolutely serious and building a portfolio of
Yeah.
serious art pieces, not quitty starty attempts.
Mm. Yeah.
The real you behind it saying, in a year from now, I will be an artist because my portfolio is huge. My varieties thing, I've got my drawing down, my colors down. I make holy shit artwork instead of every now and then I do art.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But that's not your job.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay? I don't think you truly know how broken the economy is.
Yeah. It's,
Okay? If you try to jump into art early, you're going to get your ass handed to you so many times because you don't have the secured finances that your soul is asking to get at an early part of your life.
yeah.
It's such an integrated spiritual equation for you. You solve early finances and early love issues. When you reach your peak of your sexuality in your 30s, you open up all these new doors of opportunities for yourself.
Mm. Yeah.
So artwork and spirituality are the forever hobbies you have on the side.
Yeah.
But if you're if you let's say you get a job that's much better than a crystal shop job. Let's say you get a secretary's job where you're making decent money, or you
Yeah.
get something where you're really making decent money, okay? Then you can start putting extra time into art when you're not doing that other job
Yeah.
and build it over a year or a few years,
Hmm.
okay? So the dream isn't dead. It just has to come to reality.
Yeah.
Okay? It
Yeah.
needs your serious creative genius behind it, but that creative genius has to be funded.
Yeah.
She needs good people in her life.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Um. Just a quick. I'm curious about like people in my life,
Okay,
like
tell
people
me.
that you're referring to, like needing good relationships, just in general.
Okay.
Like,
So a good relationship, like not just a small circle of close friends.
yeah.
a bigger circle of close friends because
Yeah.
you took the time to invest in them and they took the time to invest into you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want the smaller circle. You need the bigger circle. It's because
Mm,
it's how you'll meet better and better people. It's
mm,
again part of your karmic equation. When you live small, your world stays small.
mm.
There are other people who live small and the world is everywhere in front of them. That's
Yeah.
you karmically. You've got to invest into people and people got to invest back for your opportunities to open up.
Yeah.
So expand your circle of friends and
Mm-hmm.
then relationships. Whether
Yeah.
you're into them boys or girls, it doesn't matter. Can you love somebody and can they love you back? Love does not mean sexual experiences. There are plenty of women who have deep love for other women, but are not sexually attracted.
Yeah.
Okay? Letting yourself have that deep sisterhood love.
Yeah.
Is that in your life now?
Yeah.
Okay? How do you make it better?
Um, there's still more effort I could put in, and yeah.
What does effort look like?
Um, like either calling more or organizing to catch up more.
Have them come over for dinner,
Yeah.
cook for them,
Yeah.
potluck dinners, things where people don't really have to spend money to go outside but can connect to each other.
Yeah.
Be the hostess if you have to. Host
Yeah.
things that bring people together. Be the
Mm.
glue that keeps the group together.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Those are where your greatest expansions are going to be at the age that you're at now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Harvest those sisterhood, but you also need brothers in your life.
Yeah.
Brothers that aren't in the friend zone.
Okay.
Okay? People who are figuring their stuff out and just want friends also.
Yeah.
Friends that happen to be a girl.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Try to balance that part. And if you find them hitting on you on a regular basis, at some point you got to explore that stuff. Because
Yeah.
that's an equal part of your personal youth awakening, is to not limit your sexuality until you put a stranglehold or the chastity belt on it.
Mm.
But you don't want the big body count either.
Yeah. No.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you're in a situation where everything's a delicate balance that you may have to put out of balance for a while so that you can say, all right, I need new, fresher experiences, but I'm not going to go into it ignorant and dumb.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's very
Okay?
helpful.
I got a couple other questions for you. What's your diet like?
I'm vegan.
Okay.
Um,
Are you a good vegan or are you a shitty vegan?
mm, probably more of a shitty vegan.
Okay. So in many, 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 many other calls, I run into people who are shitty vegans who are on the verge of anemia. You are one of them. Do you know what anemia is?
Um, well, I thought I did, but now I feel like it'd be good for some clarification.
It means you don't eat enough, that you don't have enough food in your stomach that actually has protein,
Yeah.
that your body is going into shutdown mode and is eating its own muscle every day, which is creating a body-based depression in you, which then gives you an iron deficiency, an extreme iron deficiency, which steals your life force and energy every day.
Mm, yeah.
Okay? If you want to be vegan, you need to be a good vegan.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not telling you to quit being vegan. I'm telling you to be a good vegan, which
Mm,
means you have to count your protein.
yeah.
If you are not getting a minimum of 40 grams of protein, you are fucking yourself in the ass.
Mm,
And I use these harsh terms because the future you has to take the reality that you can no longer be a shitty vegan. You are destroying your body,
mm,
destroying your future. by being a shitty vegan.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you like to cook?
Uh, Sometimes, yeah.
Then you shouldn't be a vegan. Unless it's I love to cook, you really shouldn't be a vegan.
Mm.
Okay? Do you know why?
No.
So there's a protein calculator. Salad only gives you so many calories that calories take to burn. And oftentimes you're eating food that costs more calories to burn than you take in.
Yeah.
Okay? That is a recipe for self-destruction.
Mhm.
Okay? Do you drink enough water?
Yeah.
Okay? So you're underfed, and I'm willing to bet you're overwatered.
Yeah, probably.
Okay? Are you one of those giant water jugs you take everywhere you go?
Not giant, but a decent one that I do drink a lot.
How big is your jug?
I think just over a liter.
It's giant.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
giant. Yeah. How many of those a day do you drink?
Uh, I don't know.
Three?
Yeah, probably around three.
How often does it go to four or five?
Yeah, I can go to 4 or 5, maybe.
How often does it go more than five?
I don't think more than five. Oh,
Okay. I want you to contemplate that.
yeah,
So you are heavily overwatered, heavily undereaten, in anemia. You need to fix this
mm,
more than anything else I've ever told you about. If
yeah,
you do not take the bull by the horns about food and water, you are going to be very ill in a very short period of time. And it'll take you years to break it.
yeah,
And I mean years to break out of the tailspin you're about to go in if you don't figure out how to eat and stick with it for 6 straight months.
yeah,
That's it'll take you 6 months of hardcore ordering yourself to have 40 grams of protein every day to reverse the damage you've already done in the last 3 years of not eating.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
I cannot stress that enough.
yeah,
You need to confront the part of you that isn't eating, and who is probably using veganism as an excuse to not eat.
yeah. I feel like I do eat, but it's just not necessarily always with protein.
That's how human bodies function.
Yeah,
Without protein, you eat your own muscle.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
And what happens when you eat your own muscle over and over again? You enter body-based depression, and then the body gets ill and sick and sick and sicker and sicker.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
Okay? You need to take that serious.
yeah.
Okay? And as I said, you don't have to quit being a vegan. You need to become super vegan.
Mm-hmm.
You need to learn to love cooking. And you need to understand every day I have to have 40 grams of protein minimum.
Yeah,
I can guarantee you, if you take this seriously and have 40 grams of protein for 1 week straight, you are going to be a different human being. And if
yeah,
you quit on it and go backwards, and quit on it and go backwards and don't really fix it, you will be sick by the end of summer. Very sick.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
Your body will have broken down and it can't go no more without food.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
All right, darling. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You do have a bright future ahead of you. You
Thank
really do. The stuff you got to beat isn't hard.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
It just requires you not to be an ignorant, pretty girl. Okay?
yeah,
Okay? Pretty girl privilege only goes so far. It's time to turn on the genius girl in you.
yeah,
That's it. And
yeah,
don't accept being dumb anymore.
yeah,
Okay? Don't accept being lazy and quitter. You're a
yeah,
doer now.
yeah.
Transmute your life into be do, 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 do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay? You got a really, truly bright future ahead of you if you can take these basic things on and give yourself the potentiality you deserve.
Yeah.
All right, darling. It's great talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody. We are going to be moving to our members show next. If any of you would like to have a private session with me, we have special sales on sessions right now. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, and find all the new deals that we got going there. And if the speech that I wrote you want to do, the link to the speech will be in the show description.